Hello everyone, it is me, Annie, on behalf of Girls Games Gags, back after a period of illness, so I do apologise for the absence. I was battling COVID, unfortunately. I'm still not 100%, still difficulty with the old lungs and coughing, as you'll probably hear throughout me speaking today. But I wanted to let you know that I'd received the next instalment of my magazine subscription. I do have issues 3, 4, 5 and 6 still to open. I'm going to do 3 and 4 today, and then next week I'll do 5 and 6. So again, just the Imperium magazine to share with you guys what you're getting, what's inside, what's enclosed, what we're learning, and what we think of it. We have some models, some paint. Let's crack in and see what we've got. Try not to lose anything this time. Oh, I do love that new magazine smell. Oh, smell. It's so nice. So this is issue 3 of the Warhammer Imperium magazine with the lovely Marines on front, as you can see. So it says Discover Assault Intercessors, which you can assume is what the 3 models is we have enclosed. So you do have your sprue with the 3 Marine Assault Intercessors, 3 bases, 2, 3, and most importantly, we have some paint finally. So this is a Citadel base paint, and this is Macragge Blue, which is obviously highly affiliated with the Marines. So great colour paint to use for getting these guys done. Obviously, as you progress during the hobby, you can go on to do different shades, different chapters. You'll learn that there are multiple different variations of Marines with different colour schemes as their like uniform. But this is the popular. The blue boys are one of the OGs, the originals. So yeah, I think for, again, because the idea of this magazine is to introduce people to the hobby, to get them familiar with the Warhammer concept. I think it's great. This is the first scheme I ever did on my Marines as well, so exciting. So let's crack open and see what's all involved in issue 3. So yeah, again, just covering off the Assault Intercessors there. About their war gear, telling you a bit about the chainsaw, chain sword, I beg your pardon, and the heavy bolt pistol. So again, you'll come to learn that a lot of the different factions have different different weaponry, which obviously will make an impact on how powerful they are during gameplay. So we've got the battle record sheet again as well, like it did have in the other ones. Some more lore regarding the Dark Imperium. Nice map there as well. Now the fun thing about maps is obviously the 40k world is huge. There are so many planets, there are so many worlds basically, and areas and places that you get to learn about. So depending on what type of lore you're reading or what chapter of Marines you're learning about, it's fun to find out about the different places, the different names and that as well. It is fun to learn about the world basically that this is set in, which is really exciting. Tomb worlds on the adjacent page, which is our lovely Necrons being covered off here. Again, I'll have to go and actually study all these stories, but the stories, you're getting plenty lore. So lore meaning, like, you know, stories basically, or background information about the factions that you're playing, which with this Imperium magazine is all focused and centered around Marines and Necron. And then we go into the how to build. So this will keep you right for how to build the Intercessors that's been included in this pack. How to paint section. Which I know it's great that it's, and this is using a palette actually, it says as well. Just seen that notice there. So again, for anyone who's new to the hobby, painting comes in various forms and you can do it in multiple different styles. But it's not as, well, it can be as simple as just dipping your paintbrush in this paint pot and cracking on. I wouldn't judge you for that, but as you learn to develop your skills as well, you will make great use of what's called a wet palette. They're really worthwhile investing in if you want to save some money. We paint as well, because these pots could be about £5 per pot, so they are quite expensive if you're looking to have multiple colours and you're sticking with the Citadel range, which they are great paints. It's just, it can get really pricey if you're doing large scale projects. Basically, the wet palette is a way of allowing you to take a couple of dabs of paint onto this palette, and it lasts longer because it's watered down. It's like a foam sheet inside a tray that's watered down, and it keeps your paint wet and makes it last longer. So you'll find that 1 or 2 drops of paint will spin out a lot longer than if you were doing it straight from the pot. The benefit of having a wet palette is that you can also blend colours. So if you want to go for like a Macragge blue on its own, that's fine. If you wanted to darken it slightly or lighten it slightly, you could mix this with another colour you like to get your desired effect. So honestly, a wet palette's just changed my life for painting, so highly recommend if it's something that you're looking to do to improve on the type of paints you do or to change colour schemes. So again, they're giving you kind of like a walkthrough guide on how to achieve their colour scheme there, which is absolutely fantastic. It is a beautiful colour of blue. I've always been drawn to it. When I first seen the models, it was the ultramarine blue I really liked, and obviously Macragge blue is lovely as well. So yeah, it's awesome. And we've got board game rules and setup. So each of these magazines include a walkthrough game with an objective, basically for how to play a miniature game with just the models that you've got so far. And I had a wee shot a couple of days ago, to be honest, of the gameplay for magazines 1 and 2. Now, when I filmed it, but I'm gonna film it to show you guys how simple it is. It's literally broke down to the most simple thing. Now, I used to fuss fearsome about... I had a bit of a fear, to be honest, about gameplay because I just felt like I wouldn't be able to grasp it. But it has been broken down in such a simple format that I learned it, I understood it finally, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it was so easy and so enjoyable because you start getting like, ooh, is my Necro gonna win? Ooh, is my Marine gonna win? So it was really enjoyable. So I am gonna film me just going through this, just solo play. Obviously you're supposed to do it with someone else, but I'll just solo play it to show you initially. And then as I progress through this, I'm gonna do dual play. So I'll get my bud involved so you can see us do a walkthrough guide, playing as if you were really playing together. So it'll be good, be really good. So yeah, so we've got another gameplay in here. Just reminding you the upcoming issues there as well. So it gives you a wee taster in the back of what issue 4 includes, but no need to dwell on that because we have issue 4 here, and I will quickly open that and run through that for you as well. So again, you're seeing firsthand what is included. To be honest, I do feel, price-wise, it can feel a little steep. At $8.99 per magazine. I just had like a direct debit off for like £46, which I was like, oh my goodness, but it's because I've gotten a bulk of magazines in one go. It's still saving you a lot of money in the interim, because to buy those models individually would cost you over £10 alone, and that's not including the guides you're getting, the paint, the you know, the extras you're getting. It is gonna be, you're gonna save a lot in the long run. So yeah, if you're keen to go into this quite dedicatedly, is dedicatedly a word? If you're, you know, you've got the spark, you've got the interest, you're like, yeah, it's definitely for me, I want to regularly be painting and building models, this is definitely a cheaper route than just going and buying the box sets yourself. And you're also getting the free guidance, well, no free guidance because you're paying for it, but you're getting the additional guidance and help and lore, and just that should help make the hobby more enjoyable for you. So yeah, so far so good for me. I am still an advocate for the Imperium subscription. If you want to learn about the hobby, if you want to get your teeth stuck into something different, try it out, go for the subscription. I don't think you would regret it. So here we have issue 4, which has the lovely Necrons in the front here. It tells you obviously which models you're receiving this time, and it's the Scorpec Destroyers. And we have a Canoptic Plasmacite. I think that's how you say it. Now, I have 3 of these guys already, and you'll see that they also have the bases. The bases are significantly larger than your marine-sized ones. That's the difference there. So as I said to you before, I think the bases are a reflection of how powerful the models are during gameplay, or they're literally just bigger size models. Now these are gorgeous models, so I'm really chuffed to have them as well. And I don't have this guy, so keen to see how he will look when he's built. There is your sprue with everything enclosed on there. It's really neat when you see it like that and you know you're going to have 4 models off of this. So here we're going to have an additional 4 models, and not forgetting we have another paint, just another base paint, and this is Lead Belcher. Now again, just speaking from my own personal experience, I'm already on tub 3, I believe, of Lead Belcher, and I just started this hobby back in January. So it shows you how accustomed you get used to paints that you will use regularly. And Lead Belcher tends to be a favourite with painting weapons, for example. So when you have masses of models, paints like these are a godsend. So, Lead Belcher. We also have, wow, I think we have a really decent sized board here. I'm just going to hit a wee teat at that before I look at the magazine, because I think this is a huge, this will be a new gameplay board. So the first one I got was just like half the size of this, but this is, yeah, this is larger scale. Oh, awesome. Cool. So it is. This is a new gameplay board that's large enough for probably doing a more realistic size or larger scale game. Now that we're accumulating more models, this will be hugely beneficial for us learning how it would work if we were doing, I'm not folded that right, like actual tournaments or that with friends, which I'm excited to learn about. So yeah, very handy, very cool. So I'll pop that to the side just now. So you're getting that, your 4 bases total, 1, 2, 3, 4, and your Lead Belcher all with issue on your models, all with issue 4, which is great. So yes, honing in our Scorpec Destroyers, they are absolutely cool. You can see through that image, honestly. Like again, like I've said before, the artwork absolutely blows my mind. I love it, absolutely love the artwork. So we've got our battle record there as well. The creation of a Space Marines. You're getting a bit of a backstory there about how Space Marines were literally created, and it's such an interesting read. So again, great to hear about. The warp, you're going to learn about the warp, which is also a really important thing about the world and how things work and operate in this setting. How to build. Also notes that it's a 50mm size base for your Scorpec Destroyers, so they're significantly bigger. And they're true to size in the magazine actually. So it's something to be conscientious about when you're buying other models. If you go down the route of like, you know, like an eBay job where you're buying the models but you don't get the bases, you can buy bases separately. Just be aware of what size of base is required. Always just check that you're getting the correct size. You'll need that for gameplay in the future. Instructions on how to build these guys, which I think they weren't too fiddly if I remember. And that's what the finished models would look like, obviously unpainted once you've built them up. We've got the quote here on how to paint. So they're suggesting using the Lead Belcher as the main paint for covering the entire body of your Necrons, which is, again, is absolutely fine. It is a cool paint. It will give you like the metallic effect on them and they're robotic looking, so that will work great. I personally use a different colour scheme and a different style of painting, which is Runelord Brass, because it's got a more bronzy tinge to it than the Lead Belcher, which is more silverish. And I also paint it by dry brushing, so a dry brush effect rather than just painting straight onto the model. But again, it's your hobby, you can do what you like. You have the option to follow as it is exactly, or go and watch some tutorials and find other people who do this to be inspired, to try out other techniques yourself, and it's just whatever you feel comfortable with. I love the dry brush effect on these models when they've had a base coat of like they've been primed black underneath, and then you dry brush it with a metallic effect, because the black doesn't shine through the crevices, so it gives a more aged effect. And once you get familiar with the Necron's backstory and realise how old they are, the more aged they look, the more greater I think it is. So yeah, but it's entirely up to yourself. I digress, but yeah, once you've been doing this a little minute, like I said, I still class myself as new, but it's been, what, 9-10 months now coming up for. So it's amazing the things you pick up and the habits that you like and the things that you like. So yeah, so that was your how to paint. Then we've got the Destroyers Awaken. So this is now a game playthrough using the new board we've been given, the new play board we've been given, which will be really interesting. So again, I'll be keen to do that, walk through that guide, practice it myself, and I will film a couple of different variations for you and get that out to you as well, so you can see what happens. And then it goes on to tell you about issue 5 and 6, which, like I said, I've got sitting upstairs. And just as a sneak preview, you can see issue number 5 comes with your captain. And you are getting your Primaris captain there. And then you've got your Primaris aggressors in issue 6. So a bunch more Marines headed your way. But yeah, they are really, really enjoyable magazines. I am enjoying what you see so far. We do eventually get a binder to keep everything in as well, so they're pre-punched, which is great for keepsakes, hand-me-downs, quick referrals. Over the years, it's something you can always come back to. And yeah, I put up a video earlier this week with my reasons why people should get into miniature painting or building. And honestly, the feedback I've had has been fantastic. It's been great to know so many people relate still with how we feel while taking part in this hobby. And one of the main things for me is always still getting the downtime away from screen time, TVs, tech, laptops, iPads, whatever kind of thing it is you're using, be it for your job or just a habit you fall into at night when you come home from your work, you know, sitting at the TV or binge watching Netflix. We're all guilty of doing it, and even that in its own merit is a nice way to relax sometimes, but stepping away from screen time is also essential, I think, to recharge you mentally, physically, help with your eyes, just help clear your head, just having that time alone away from screens. And a hobby like this is great for it, because you have to concentrate a wee bit for your build and then your painting, but you get to zone in on that and use it as escapism from everything else. I kind of big up how much this hobby has been hugely beneficial to me in my life in such a short space of time. It's gave me such a sense of belonging, sense of accomplishment, reignited passion to speak about things, to interact with other people. It's a lovely common denominator when you're meeting other people for the community, that you can speak about things. It's just always nice to feel like you fit in with people again. And as we grow older, step away from schools, jobs, or start family life and that, a lot of us do become very closed off. Some of us do it because that's what we like, and some of us, you know, it's just circumstantially that's what happens. And it can be difficult to make friends or connect with people when you get a bit older, or if you're quite shut off and you're not having the opportunity to physically interact with people the same. And being a part of this community and sharing that with yourselves on social media platforms has just opened the channel for so much interactions with people, building up friendships that I would never have banked on before, never been able to worldwide, you know. It is just great to have people check in on you, chat about other things. You find out you've got a lot of other stuff in common, and you all become friends initially, collectively through the hobby, but that will diversify into other aspects of your life as well. And yeah, I just I cannot sing the praises of this hobby enough. It's fantastic. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. If you're looking for something or a way to escape from the mundane day-to-day, and you don't want to go and sit in front of a console for console gaming, you don't want to do more sports or anything like that, if you want something that's just for you, something you could do on your own or with other friends, that as well, this is a great hobby. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I haven't bored you to tears tonight. I will be back with some more Warhammer Wednesday themed things as soon as I can. I've been working a lot of paint jobs in my spare time when I've had the chance, so I'll showcase a lot of them as well. But if you want any more information, any more updates about what I've been up to, check out my TikTok channel. You'll find the name here. You add me on there. And keep an eye on the GGG page. We do have a Warhammer themed live coming up, which I'm super excited about. So next Friday, which is the 29th of October, we're going to go live. Tasha is going to paint her first model. We're going to be discussing all things kind of Warhammer themed, and we do have a Warhammer giveaway celebrating Orktober, so there will be an Orc themed giveaway involved as well. So stay tuned for that, keep an eye on our socials, and thanks again for tuning in and for your continued support. Bye!